Okay, so today we're doing a lesson again on area, but if you notice, the shapes are a little weird. So, these are not squares or rectangles. They're these kind of combined rectangles, these funky shapes. Because if you've ever been to somebody's house, let's say, and you want to find the area of their apartment or house, their apartment or house is not a square. They've got maybe a room over here. You don't want to count the bathroom, which might be over here. Or if you've ever been to somebody's front yard, if you have your own front yard, that's not a square either because you have neighbors. So your neighbors might have this section, so you gotta not count that. If you're gonna try to like plant something or if you want to decorate the outside, you can't decorate your neighbor's side. So you gotta leave this part out. So we're gonna figure out how to find the area, which if you remember is base times height. I don't remember, was it? Yeah, I believe it was base times height for you guys. So area is multiplication. So we know that it's one section. It's one section of the square. If we have the square like this, it's this section here, base, or actually that's height, sorry. It's this section here, base is this way, height is how tall it is. And you multiply them, right? So we have base times height here. That's how you find the area. But this has like a base and a height, another base and a height. So how are we going to do that? Well, first of all, you're going to stop thinking of this stuff as like all these shapes that you can't figure out. Don't think about it like that. You're going to think about it as two different shapes. So the way I like to think about it is presents. So you're going to your own party and you're going to split it up so that you got two presents, two square presents. Typically, you split it right where it starts to get weird. So, oh, look, this looks a lot like a square. This is looking like a square. Now it doesn't. Okay, well, let's fix that. I'm going to make it a square. Now I have two squares. Pretty easy. Two squares. But now the numbers don't make sense because 8. Excuse me. Again, I have allergies, so sorry, guys. 8 refers to this whole thing. This whole thing is 8. But now we're only using this section. So instead of using the bottom number, look at the top. The top has the number up here. So I'm going to. I'm sorry, guys. How come I can't write? I'm going to cross out this number. I'm going to cross out the number 8, and I'm just going to use 6 and 4. So I'm going to do 6 times 4 first. And I'm going to leave that there for now. Now, I'm going to take a look at this box. Sorry. I'm having a hard time with my allergies all week. So now I'm going to do this box. Well, I'm going to cross out this number because this number 2 is looking at this right here, which we don't need. I'm going to cross that out. This length is 2 and this length is 2. So I'm just going to use that. So I'm going to do 2 times 2. Now, doing them separately is not enough. So I know that 6 times 4 is 24. And 2 times 2 is 4. But that doesn't tell me the area of the whole thing. It just tells me the area of this one and the area of this one. So I got to add them. So 24 plus 4 is 28. I don't know why I said 48. 28. All right? You got to add the 2 together as your final step. So there's 3 steps. Step 1 is figure out this one. Step 2 is figure out this one. Step 3 is add them together. All right? So 3 steps. Now let's do it again in this one. Look, it's funky looking. Something is not right here. Okay, so they also, by the way, didn't label 2 of the sides. So we got to figure those out. Now I'm going to take my pen or pencil and I'm going to make a line right here. Okay, now I split these up. But remember, that means that my number 10 up here doesn't work anymore. Okay, well, now what can I do? I'm going to have to figure this out. Well, I know that I can figure out, by the way, this smaller circle. So the smaller square. I'm going to make that number 1. I have 3 and 2. So 3 times 2 is my first one. But for my second one, it's not going to be as easy. My second one is actually going to be kind of hard because I don't have all the information I need, right? I don't have this or this? Well, what is as tall as this? Let's see. So this is this tall. Well, this is almost that tall. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that 4 this way. Put that 4 here. And I have, oh, look, this is tall. I'm going to bring that 2 this way. So I'm going to cross over, and I'm going to add them. Oh, 4 plus 2, what is that? 6. Oh, so this is 6 tall. All right. This is 10 across, right? This is 10 across here, but oh, yikes. There's a 3 over here. And then there's something. Oh, so I have to subtract. This is 10 long minus 3 will give me this. So 10, 9, 8, 7. So 6 times 7 is my other box. Now, 3 times 2, 6. I'm going to put equal signs. Equal sign. All right. So now I have 6 and 42. My third step is to add. That's 48. Oh, look at that, 28 and 48. Now, there's another way we could have done this problem, by the way. So, for the ones that are saying, wow, that was like really complicated, I don't know what to do with this one's too difficult, you don't have to split the squares down. It can sometimes be easier to split, whoop, didn't mean to do that, to split the squares sideways. Let me show you what I mean. First of all, I'm going to wipe this out. That line's not supposed to be there. And I'm going to write 10 again. Because we knew 10 was a number. There we go. Now, I can split these squares sideways. I can do this. That's pretty easy. So watch. So I'm going to take a different color pen. And I'm going to split these squares this way instead. Now I can do the base. 10 for this number times 2 is 20. So notice the numbers are a little different. And that's 20. And then I have 4. I need to know this number. Still, I'm just going to do 10 minus that 3 because it's a smaller box. 10 minus this 3 across gives me 7, and then I do 4 times 7. And I get 48. Now, this lesson we're going to be working on for a little longer. This is not going to be a 2-day lesson. So, if this looks hard, don't worry so much about it. This is going to be a second lesson also. We're going to keep working on this over 2 days. I'm going to do one more with you guys before I let you go. Yeah, it's not really perfect, but whoops, ignore what's going on there. There we go. Now, the last one that we're going to do is going to have what you're going to say. So we're going to do 5, I'm going to do 2, let's say 3, 4, let's say 8, and 6. All right, well, this one has a lot of numbers in it. This one's a little scary. It's got a lot of numbers, and I'm not sure what to do, and oh boy, I don't know what's going on. So, first thing we do is we relax, we take out our pencil, and we draw a line. We're going to draw a line either this way, where the square meets, or this way. Now, I prefer to draw them down first to see if that works. So I'm going to cut it. And I noticed that when I cut it, look, this 8, which is this whole line, so this whole line was 8, that gets cut. So I'm going to X out 8. 8 doesn't matter to me anymore because it's too big. It fits too long a line, and that line goes through both squares. So we're just going to forget 8. So this leaves us with 5 and 6. Oh, look at that. I can multiply those. They're making up a square. Well, let me write. There we go. And now I got to figure out this one. Well, I've got this number 2, but this 2 is talking about this mini line here, so I don't need that number 2. Oh, but 3 is talking about this, 4 about that. That makes a square. And then we multiply. 3 times 4, 3, 6, 9, 12. 2, 4. There we go. So those are our 3 steps. We found 1 square, 2 square, add them together. Find 1 square, 2 square, add them together. All right? If you need any help, let me know.